Salutations! My name is Joshua Scherer. I'm in 3005, Passion Projects, a class that gives MIT students and their imaginations free rein to create material solutions to the problems of our material world. For my project, I am learning about shape memory alloys so that I can use them in the creation of new pieces of jewelry.
Now, what are shape memory alloys? They are a class of metal alloys with the peculiar ability to recall a previously held structure. All shape memory alloys have a transition temperature above which they have a specific crystal structure, called austenite, and below which they have a different crystal structure, called martensite. These different crystal structures mean that a piece of metal can have its shape change solely through the introduction or removal of heat. More than that, though, the different structures exhibit very different behaviors. In the austenite phase, above the transition temperature, the alloy will be super elastic. This means that when a force is applied to it and then removed, the austenitic metal will return to the shape it held previously, with a negligibly small difference between its initial and final structure. This superelasticity has been used in a number of non-industrial situations, from bra wires to glasses frames and anywhere else a non-structural but flexible metal is desirable. In the martensite phase, below the transition temperature, the alloy will plastically deform as though it were an inelastic metal, like aluminum. However, when the metal is heated above its transition temperature and changes to the austenite phase, it will return to the shape it held in the austenite phase, called the parent shape. As it cools, the metal will hold this position through the transition back to martensite. The control offered by the precision of this transition has been exploited in industry, where shape memory alloys are used as actuators, which can respond to temperature and electric current. Now, how do I plan to use these properties? In the context of jewelry, the superelastic austenite phase of shape memory alloys have been marketed as memory wire, and while uncommon, it is not an unheard of material. I plan to incorporate this type of wire into jewelry to a greater extent, though, creating pieces that would be impossible without superelasticity. One example would be of a bracelet made of austenitic shape memory alloys, which would make a distinct image when not wound around a wrist, looking to all the world like wire art, but being capable of bending into a bracelet. Another design I have in mind would be for another bracelet, which winds around the wrist and arm in a way that would not be possible for normal jewelry. In addition, very few examples exist of the use of heat to transition jewelry, possibly due to fear of burns and possibly due to an absence of designs which would necessitate such a transition. However, there is a very wide range of temperatures over which shape memory alloys can transition. One alloy may have a transition temperature of 165 degrees Celsius, while another may have a transition temperature of -30 degrees Celsius. So there is no theoretical reason not to have a transition temperature that is very close to body temperature. In fact, a number of medical devices function using shape memory alloys which transition at body temperature. Based on this, I plan to make jewelry that changes when it touches the skin, unfurling and contorting so that putting it on is as much an experience as seeing it fully formed. I also plan to make jewelry which would transition just above body temperature, so that during strenuous physical activity, it would take on a new shape.
After all this, I hope you can say you know a bit more about shape memory alloys and what I plan to do with them. So that's it. Thank you for your time and have a super elastic day.